Today is Thursday.
And this is a throwback.
Today is Thursday, and this is a throwback is an obnoxiously long hashtag and a nostalgic-rich talk show presented by the Peridot. Today in history, on September 18, 1895, in a speech at the Cotton States and International Exposition in Atlanta, Georgia, Booker T. Washington, a leading Black educator in the United States in the late 19th century, articulated the Atlanta Compromise. Washington asserted that vocational education, which gave African Americans an opportunity for economic security, was more valuable to them than social advantages, higher education, or political office. In one sentence, he summarized his concept of race relations appropriate for the times. Quote, "In all things that are purely social, we can be as separate as the fingers, yet one as the hand in all things essential to mutual progress." End quote. In return for African Americans remaining peaceful and socially separate from whites, the white community needed to accept responsibility for improving the social and economic conditions of all Americans, regardless of skin color, Washington argued. This notion of shared responsibilities is what came to be known as the Atlanta Compromise. White leaders in both the North and the South greeted Washington's speech with enthusiasm, but it disturbed Black intellectuals who feared that Washington's accommodationist philosophy would doom Black Americans to indefinite subservience to whites. This criticism of the Atlanta Compromise was best articulated by W.E.B. Du Bois in 1903's The Souls of Black Folk. Quote, "Mr. Washington represents in Negro thought the old attitude of adjustment and submission. His program practically accepts the alleged inferiority of the Negro races," end quote. Advocating full civil rights as an alternative to Washington's policy of accommodation, Du Bois organized a faction of Black leaders into the 1905 Niagara Movement, which led to the founding of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People in 1909. On September 18, 1970, American rock guitarist and singer Jimi Hendrix, who fused American traditions of blues, jazz, rock, and soul with techniques of British avant-garde rock to redefine the electric guitar in his own image, died of an overdose of barbiturates in London at the age of 27. On September 18, 2020, American lawyer Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was the second woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, died at the age of 87. She served as an associate justice from 1993 to 2020. Today's Throwback VHS is dedicated to the #1 movie in America on September 18, 1990, Goodfellas, an American biographical gangster film directed by Martin Scorsese, written by Nicholas Pileggi and Scorsese. It is a film adaptation of Pileggi's 1985 nonfiction book, Wise Guy, starring Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, Lorraine Bracco, and Paul Sorvino. The film narrates the rise and fall of mafia associate Henry Hill and his friends and family from 1955 to 1980. Gangster films are my favorite film genre. Goodfellas raised me. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Today's throwback is dedicated to Monopoly, the board game. First published in 1935 by the Parker Brothers, Monopoly is a multiplayer economics-themed board game. In the game, players roll dice to move around the board, building and trading properties and developing them with houses and hotels. Players collect rent from their opponents and aim to drive them into bankruptcy. Money can also be gained or lost through chance and community chest cards, as well as tax squares. Players receive a salary every time they pass go and can end up in jail, from which they cannot move until they have met one of 3 conditions. The game is named after the economic concept of a monopoly, which is the domination of a market by a single entity. The game is derived from the landlord's game created in 1903 in the United States by anti-monopolist Lizzie Magie as a way to demonstrate that an economy rewarding individuals is better than one where monopolies hold all the wealth. It also served to promote the economic theories of Henry George, in particular the single tax theory as laid out in his book Progress in Poverty. The landlord's game originally had two sets of rules. An anti-monopolist set in which all were rewarded when wealth was created, and a monopolist set in which the goal was to create monopolies and crush your opponent. Magie intended the game to serve as an educational tool to illustrate the negative aspects of concentrating land in private monopolies. Message! You know what time it is? Yeah! It's time for the number one song of the day! It's the number one song of the day! On September 18th, 1995, Coolio featuring LV topped the Billboard Hot 100 with Gangsta's Paradise. The song interpolates Stevie Wonder's song Pastime Paradise and served as the theme for the 1995 film Dangerous Minds starring Michelle Pfeiffer. She was even featured in the music video directed by Antoine Fuqua. With Gangsta's Paradise, Coolio won the Grammy for the Best Rap Solo Performance and had the top-selling single of 1995. And some heat came out in 95. To commemorate 30 years of great music, the Peridot's playlist presents 95, a compilation of the year's 100 biggest hits. Here's the track list. I'm talking about hit after hit. You got Gangsta's Paradise, then you got Waterfall, Creep by TLC, Fantasy by Mariah Carey, Take a Bow by Madonna. There's some Hootie and Blowfish on there. I Got Five on it, came out in 95. Totals and Biggie, know what you do to me. What else came out? You got Brandy's Baby, 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 Baby. No, that's TLC. You got Brandy's Baby. You got Brandy's Best Friend. You got Monica's Don't Take It Personal. Baby, baby, baby. I mean, hit after hit. You got Boys to Men, Water Runs Dry, and On Bended Knee. I mean, I cannot Mr. Bombastic by Shaggy on there. It's literally hit after hit. Hit after hit. Well, that concludes today's show. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Peridot Network on YouTube. Listen to the Peridot's playlist on Spotify and follow the Peridot.net on Instagram, TikTok, and the website formerly known as Twitter.
Today is Thursday.
And this is a throwback.
I really got to tell y'all about this track list because I don't think y'all understand. Okay, let me show you. Baby, whew, it's hot.